Hi everyone, so my name is Florentyna. I'm a clinical psychologist from the Mind Psychological Services and Training. And in today's topic, what I'll be talking about is how do we manage panic attacks. Firstly, how do we actually detect early signs of panic attacks? So first and foremost, what you'll notice is that you will experience this intense fear or intense discomfort that reaches a peak within a minute. It happens very out of the sudden, and that there's no actually clear signs of triggers to it. So it happens out without any reason. You will actually experience 4 or more of the following symptoms. So firstly, you will experience your heart racing, heart palpitations. Secondly, you may also experience sweating, hot and cold sensations. You will experience trembling or shaking. Fifth, that you will experiencing this shortness of breath, that chest pain, feel nausea. You also experience feeling very dizzy, that sense of numbness. You feel that you are detaching from oneself. It's also known as depersonalization or derealization, where you feel that everything that is unreal in your environment. You have this fear of losing control or feel as if you're going crazy, and there's this fear of actually dying. So how do we actually handle panic attacks alone, right, when there's no one around us? Well, let me teach you 2 techniques. Alright, so firstly, there is the deep breathing exercise. Now, deep breathing exercise actually helps, and the reason for that is that it actually sends a message to our brain, telling our brain saying that, hey, the environment that we are in is safe, there's no danger around us. Right? So it takes us out of that stress response, which is also known as the fight or flight response. So let me take you through it. So firstly, what you need to do is to place one hand on the chest, or may sit in a comfortable position first. Place one hand on the chest and the other hand on the tummy. Right? So you know that you're actually breathing deeply and slowly is when your tummy is actually going up and down, right? And your chest area remains still. Secondly, is that you're going to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Okay. So thirdly, is that as we are breathing in, we're going to breathe in 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And after that, we're going to breathe normally. And then we're going to repeat the cycle again. So let me show you once how do we do that. Right? So place one hand on the chest, place one hand on the tummy, and we're going to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe normally. And we start the cycle again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe normally. And repeat the cycle again. And the second technique that I would like to teach you all is known as the grounding technique. So it's known as the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. So the reason why we actually do this is instead of focusing inwards to our physical sensation, what we're doing is we're trying to look outwards into our environment. And instead of focusing inwards and keep panicking about the sensations that we're feeling, we're going to look into our environment as a form of distraction. Right? So 5 things that you can see around you. So I can see the plant, I can see the table, I can see the sofa and the blanket, etc. Right? And 4 things that you can feel around you. Right? You can actually go to the item and actually feel the sensation. Right? 4 things you can feel. three things that you can hear around you. So right now, as I'm sitting here, I can hear the clock ticking. I can hear the aircon sound. I can hear the bustling roads out there. Two things that you can actually smell. Right now, I'm not in a place where there's much things to smell, so you actually can head over to the kitchen, to maybe there's some coffee grounds where you can actually sniff, smell it, right? Or one of my favorite things that I get, my go-to favorite is, the mint smell, right? Just smelling the mint actually keeps me grounded in the moment. And one thing that you can taste, right? So go to any of the fridge, take out like maybe something dinner or maybe like sweet, right? You can just pop it in and just being in the moment, taste how it actually tastes like. So some of the do's and don'ts of handling panic attacks. So I guess I want to emphasize on the do first. First thing is to reassure yourself or remind yourself that these panic attacks will pass. Alright? Because a lot of the times when we're in that panic situation, we think that it's going to keep going on and it just intensify the fear. Right? So just reassure yourself, tell yourself it will pass. So some of the don'ts is that number one, don't tell yourself to keep calm, right? Because what you're doing is you're actually making it more anxious for you, and it will just intensify the anxiety. Secondly, don't run away from it. When you're experiencing the panic attack, of course, make sure that you're in a safe environment, right? But just sit in with those unpleasant emotions. Now, the reason for that is that if you were to run away from whatever you're experiencing, you will never know that whatever you are experiencing will pass over time, and it will just exacerbate that fear in you. If you are a friend or a family member, don't ask them to stay calm again, right? Because what you need to do is just be there for them, right? Assure them that you're there with them and that they are safe. And lastly, ways to prevent panic attacks. I guess this is some of the things that you've been hearing over and over, right? Which is developing a healthy lifestyle or habits, making sure that you're sleeping enough and having good quality of sleep. Secondly is that making sure that you are actually eating well, eating regular meals. And thirdly is that making sure that you are exercising regularly as well, right? The three pillars of health, right? It's something that you can help to reduce stress and manage any tensions in the body, basically feel good about yourself. It is very important to avoid drinking caffeine, alcohol, and smoking because it will actually worsen the situation. Lastly, is to actually practice the techniques that I introduced earlier, the deep breathing exercise and also the grounding technique, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. Because if you were to not practice it regularly, when it comes to those moments where you experience panic attack, you will be like fumbling around, not knowing what to do, right? So practice. So if you are actually currently experiencing any panic attacks and you would like to know the severity of it, head over to our The Mind website under self-assessment. There is the panic disorder severity scale questionnaire. Fill it up and they will generate a result and see like where you at on the scale. And last but not least, I would say that if let's say the panic attacks are not is very difficult for you to manage, I would strongly advise you to seek help from mental health professionals, right? So that they can actually help and guide you through like how to manage them. And that's all for me. Thank you.